channel 33 RPM.
It's time for another Q&A video. Today I'm going to show you my two main turntables, plus tips for buying a decent record player on a budget. Be right back.
Channel 33 RPM, yeah, 33 RPM, channel 33 RPM, yeah, final gear and more.
Hey guys, Frank here, channel 33, RPM.com, still coming at you with a new episode every single Sunday. I get a lot of great questions from viewers. I'm going to tackle two of those today. One of the most frequently asked questions I get is about the stereo setup right behind me, and more specifically, people want to know what those two turntables are. Let's take a closer look. The vintage turntable is a Hitachi PS-48, which I found at a garage sale about 4 or 5 years ago for around 10 or 15 bucks. This is a direct drive turntable from about 1978. I've equipped it with a Nagaoka MP-110 cartridge and stylus, which is one of my all-time favorite cartridges. The modern turntable on this side of me is a Pro-Ject debut carbon, which I bought about 2 or 3 years ago for around $400. I've upgraded it with Pro-Ject's acrylic platter, which replaced the metal platter that came with it. I also bought the Pro-Ject Speedbox 2, which allows you to change the speed from 33 to 45 RPM without having to physically move the turntable belt. The Pro-Ject came with an Ortofon red cartridge. I hear a lot of praise for this cartridge, but personally, I don't care for it. To me, it lacks character, but that all comes down to personal taste. My plan is to upgrade it with the Ortofon Blue, which is the next cartridge in the series. That's my main turntable setup. I kind of switch between the Hitachi and the Pro-Ject, depending on my mood at the time. I have a couple other stereo setups throughout the house, which I can show you in a future video. The next question comes from Moonsia. Moonsia writes, I'm 14 and super interested in all things vintage. I've heard so many things about the sound quality on record players, and I really wanted to start collecting. There's no way I can pay 200 plus bucks for a record player, but I don't want to buy a cheap Crossley and ruin my records. I'm thinking about buying a vintage one from Goodwill, maybe from the 70s. Any tips or players I can get for relatively cheap? I love this question because you can tell Moonsia has thought about this already and done a little bit of research and kind of has an idea of what to stay away from. I definitely recommend going the vintage route. As I showed you just a couple moments ago, I got my Hitachi turntable for $10 or $15 at a garage sale. So garage sales, thrift stores are great places to look. I'd recommend checking the online classifieds as well, and even placing your own ad saying that you're looking for a vintage turntable. I've done a video recently about 5 tips for getting a good deal on vinyl and audio gear, which you may also want to check out. I'll leave a link to that below this video. But here are some of my thoughts on things you should look for when buying a vintage turntable. As a general rule of thumb, the heavier the turntable, the better. You need a bit of weight to help dampen the sound. Weight can also be an indicator of quality of materials. Plastic is cheap, real wood isn't. Avoid turntables that are made mostly out of plastic. Also, look for a turntable that has an adjustable tone arm. You want to make sure you can adjust the tracking force and anti-skate. Tracking force is the downward pressure in a stylus, which is adjusted using the counterweight at the end of a tone arm. The anti-skate, meanwhile, is typically adjusted with a little dial beside the tone arm. Anti-skate prevents the tone arm from skipping or jumping all over your record. If you see a turntable you like, Google the make and model number. There's tons of information out there about specific models. Let me know what you thought of today's episode in the comments below, and if you have a question, feel free to send it my way. Remember to leave a quick like if you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, click that button so you never miss another episode again. Until next time, vinyl friends, keep on spinning.